guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a few years since I've posted anything, so I thought, you know what, it's a good time. Give a bit of an update, show you what's going on. So that video that you were just watching, unfortunately that was a few years ago, and things are a little bit different now. So I meant to post that, but I never did. That was kind of showing the new feeder, the conveyor that I created. But anyway, where we're at now is a little bit different. So I went to process wood this year. It's now the fall 2023, and I've had nothing but issues. And this machine is it's not working right now. It's got a lot of issues. So it's always had some issues that I've wanted to address, and I just didn't ever get around to doing it. So yeah, I think at this point it's time to make some changes. So I thought that I'd make a few videos, make some changes, get it running now in the fall, and then show you some of the upgrades that I want to make. So when I first came to use this machine this fall, I'd abused it. I didn't get it covered properly, and the little 420cc engine that was on here kind of wrecked. It hydro locked. It got water through the exhaust, water on top of the cylinder, and anyway I got it running, and it didn't last long, and it's yeah, rings are dead and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I just installed this much bigger engine. It's a nice engine. It's a V-twin. This is the same as the Duramax that they sell here in Canada. It's kind of branded PowerPoint from Princess Auto. V-twin. It's somewhere between 21 and 24 horsepower from what I can tell. They don't really list it. So this is running. It works really well. Unfortunately, didn't take long before the whole thing kind of fell apart again. So one of my biggest issues over the last couple of years has been the feed system, and what I'm getting is, you know, this feed system is just not strong enough. I'm getting sprockets that are actually idlers that are actually falling off. They're bending. That's just not strong enough, and when they bend, you can see that this guy's bent. So you can see that this guy's bent here. So it's pulling the chain off to the side. So what eventually happens is, you can see here on the tensioner that I built, the chain comes off. When the chain comes off, it's actually pulling some of these sprockets right off of the machine. This should be flush up against the side of the machine. Currently the whole chain is jammed. It's off back here. It's completely jammed. So what I'm also getting quite often is, when I do get idlers that fall off like this, I'll get it so that one or two of the rollers stop working, and then the log is really tough to advance, especially if it's not a nice flat smooth log. So that's one of the things that needs to be done right away, just to get this machine running again. So that's one of the things I'm planning on doing this fall, that I'll take some videos of and show you how we do that. So I've been building this machine over the years, and I keep making modifications to it to fix various things. And one of the things I did was extend the length of the log roller, the feed. And as you can see, the old system, where there was a V at the end, kind of doesn't work with the new roller that's beyond it. So one of the things I'll do is I'll cut that that last little piece off, and probably just weld it onto the rail on the side, just you know, so the logs don't go rolling off the back. So one of my big problems is that this tank is definitely undersized, much smaller than this machine should have. And so what I've done is I've added this hydraulic cooler. Unfortunately, I don't really have any way to power it, so I'd love some ideas. Throw them in the comments, exactly how you figure I should power this thing, because even with this new bigger engine, it doesn't have enough of a charging system to keep that going. So they want an 8 amp breaker on that hydraulic fan. So that's probably using about 6 amps, maybe somewhere around 72 watts. And I thought when I was buying this engine, hey, it's going to be great. I'll be able to power that for sure, but I couldn't find any specs on the charging system. So it wasn't until actually, after this machine, or after the engine was installed, that I finally figured out that it's probably only putting out 3 amp, which is nowhere near enough to power that fan. So, hey, any ideas? I'd love to hear them. That's one of the things I got to get going. I got to get changed. So my next issue is that I got a leak. So I'm using some Power Beyond. This 3-spool valve right here is Power Beyond. It goes to the log splitter valve, and it's not a great system. So I think there's too many bends in it. First of all, it's heating up the fluid too much. But I have a leak, so I'm considering changing the way that all of this works, and then in the future being able to add a few circuits as well. But one of the other things that needs to be done before I can start using the machine again. So I have this conveyor now that I didn't have before, and it doesn't work very well. So I repurposed this from something else that I had. I modified it, and the problem is that logs get jammed up in here. It just doesn't work very well. So this is not going to be this fall. I need to get going. I need to process the wood that I have. But I am going to have to find a way to rebuild this. I need to get the bottom of it lower so that the wood falls onto it. And it needs to be powered by a hydraulic motor. Right now I have this little Briggs, and it's got a 4-to-1, I think it is, reduction gear on it. This was from an old sweeper, and it works well, but there should be a hydraulic motor that does this. So this whole piece needs to be kind of redesigned and rebuilt, and I'm going to do that, but that'll be later, probably in the spring, and I'll make a video, or probably a couple of videos on exactly how I do that. So there's a lot of issues that I need to deal with now to get this thing working properly, at least get my the wood that I have processed. There's a lot of things that this machine, I've learning as I go. I had no idea how to build this machine. This machine was built with just hand tools, not much, grinders and, drill press and some basic tools that, probably most people have. And I've been figuring it out as I go. So, there's a lot of things that didn't work. There's some things that work really well on it, but there's a lot of things that are going to need to be modified. There's a lot of parts that I think that are gonna continue to break. So I'm redesigning as I go. So I'll have a few videos out for sure on how to get it running, for this fall, and then I'll keep making videos and put them out about how to rebuild this machine. With all the lessons I've learned in the last 4, 5, 6 years that I've been building it and running it. So, you know what? Stay tuned, subscribe, and see how this goes.